I'm Joshua Bardwell, and you're good. Well, you know what? You're not going to learn anything today. That's terrible, isn't it? What I mean by that is, when I say you're going to learn something today, I mean I want to teach you something new that you didn't know. And today's video is just a little bit of an announcement about my website. Oh, you still here? Okay. If you, I don't blame you if you left. So here it is, the Ultimate FPV shopping list. And the first thing I want to point out to you is that I've added a whole new page. So I've divided it up into categories, depending on what you're looking for. And I've added a whole new page on ready-to-fly drones. Lots of people really love building drones, so do I, but sometimes you just want to buy one and fly it. And on this page, I've called out some ready to fly. Now these here are completely ready to fly, including coming with a transmitter, just bound. You just basically plug it in and you're good to go. And we've also got some plug and play bind and flies for those of you who already have your own transmitter and you're willing to do just a little bit more work. So go check that out if you're looking for a particularly good plug and fly or bind and fly quad. I've also added some stuff to the quadcopter parts section. That's harder to say than you would think, quadcopter parts. I have added some F7s. With the release of Betaflight 3.4, Betaflight is finally optimized for F7 processors, and I feel like before I said, well, there's not much point in running an F7 if you're running Betaflight, but now that Betaflight 3.4, you can really go take advantage of the F7 processor. We've got some F7s on here, so we're finally ready to give up the whole nonsense with UART inversion. Bye-bye F4. Well, no, there's still plenty of F4s as well, but I've got the Kakute F7, which is I think it's a little underappreciated. This is a really good flight controller. Soft-mounted gyro, 6 UARTs. Anyway, you can read about it if you want to. I've also got the Holy Bro Kakute all-in-one stack, which is ESC F7 flight controller and video transmitter all in one. And I especially am happy with the Holy Bro Adlatal V2 video transmitter. The Adlatal V1 was okay, but it didn't have a true pit mode and you couldn't access it. You couldn't use it via a push button if you wanted to. Not that I think you should, but it does support smart audio, but you can. It's got nice LEDs on the outside to tell you what channel you're on. It's got a microphone. It's a pretty slick little stack and just saves you a lot of trouble wiring it up. Of course, you still have to solder on your motors and your receiver, but saves you a lot of trouble. And then I've also got the Airbot Omni XT F7, which is an F7 processor from Airbot. I reviewed the Airbot Fireworks and was just really impressed with Airbot's design. The cool thing about this is it has a soft-mounted gyro underneath this acrylic case. So one complaint about the Adlatal or the Kakute is it's got a soft-mounted gyro, but it's not really protected. So if any wires or anything bump up against it, you can get into trouble. And it's also, like, I'm really impressed. Look at the ribbon cable here on the Kakute. It's kind of sticking out a little. You want to be careful of that. Here, it's really nice and tucked in and protected. It's not going to get banged up. So there you go. 2 new F7 flight controllers on the shopping list, as well as a few of the ones that I've always been a fan of. Over here in the ESC section, I have removed one. I had the DAL-RC engine on here, and I really hate to put any product on blast, but I personally experienced 2 DAL-RC engines that died very shortly after installing them. And I was like, wow, is it just me? And a whole bunch of other people, including not just people on the internet, but people I know, said, no, man, I don't know if they have a bad batch or what. I don't want to put I really want you to be able to trust that all the products on the list are as rock solid as they can be. The Acon AK32, especially if you're running 6S, a lot of ESCs that do okay on 4S will kind of barf on 6S and die, but the AK32 is the most rock solid ESC, and everybody I know who uses them says the same things. Fingers crossed it stays that way. That's what another change I've made here on the list. The motors section of this is the hardest one to keep up to date because there's always new motors coming out and it makes the website look a little bit dated. But here's the thing. My goal with this is not to chase the trend or the newest hype. It's not even necessarily to give you the latest and greatest. It's to give you a reliable list. I want products that are in stock. So when you click on the link to go buy them, you actually can buy them. I added the DYS Samguk series. I hesitated to do this because in the past, the DYS, I think they were the DYS Fire motors, they had really iffy bearings. And I heard a lot of stories from people who got them, and like 1 out of every 4 had terrible bearings from the factory. And then, so I didn't want to, I hesitated to recommend them, but I've talked to so many people who tell me that they have good results with the Samgo series motors. They're very, very economical. They're about $9 or $10 a motor. They're not at the quality or performance level of like a $25 motor. Believe it or not, you do get a better motor for $25 than you do get for $9. It's not all just hype and marketing. Samgo motors are on the list, and it's great because you have a variety. You have 3 different KVs in 2306 and 2 different KVs in 2207, so you really can just have your pick of whatever motor you want. And you'll see over here on the right, I've added the FXT Viper to the page. The Viper comes in around $160 and really has a lot to offer at that price. It's got proper diversity. It's got reasonably good performance in my range testing. It's really comfortable to wear, especially if you have glasses. So I've got the Viper in here as a little bit more of a premium option. Now, what if you want goggles? The Fat Shark Attitude V4 was my budget choice, but the Fat Shark Attitude V4, I think it has been end of life. I've seen some product listings on stores saying discontinued. So if that's true, then I got to figure out what else I'm going to recommend. And the honor goes to the FlySight Falcon FGO1. I still think the Attitude was a little bit of a better goggle. Maybe the Dom V3 is better, but sheesh, at a price of $259, it's really totally worth that much. It's a pretty solid goggle for around $300 for $259. It's on sale right now. There you go. It's pretty solid. It even takes a regular Fat Shark module, although you'll need a custom door. It doesn't fit the standard 3D printed doors for Fat Shark like Dominators. So that one is going in there as the cheapest with an external module bay. Skyzone Skyo 2 still on the list. Why not the Skyo 3? Yeah, it's pretty expensive, and even after they fixed the faceplate, I still hear it's got some issues. So, see, I don't want to chase the latest and greatest. I want to make sure that the products I'm recommending are reliable and that you're going to have a good result, even if it means sometimes I miss something good that, right, it takes me a while to get around to it. There you go. Oh, this is exciting. So the cheapest worth having Fat Shark module is now the RX 5808 Pro plus OSD. So it used to be the Eachine Pro 58. Well, it still kind of is. The Eachine Pro 58, but the Pro 58 is a hassle to flash firmware to. It doesn't have a USB port, and you actually have to buy this weird STM programming adapter, and then you have to solder it on to one of these pins, and it's a real it's not the end of the world, but it's a pain in the butt. This guy comes with a USB connector, and it comes ready to go with the OSD mod. So you can see the OSD in your goggles, and you can order it with the Achilles firmware pre-installed. Oh my God, $56. That is a heck of a deal. It's really a heck of a deal. It's really, Achilles is pretty good. I still like LaForge better, but if I was spending my own money, spending $60 for this versus $100 and something bucks for a LaForge, it'd be pretty tough to justify. So we've put that on the list, and yep. All right, folks. Well, there's your little walk through what's new on the Ultimate FPV shopping list, including my new Ready to Fly Quads page. And there's one more page I'm working on that I'll tease you. It's micros. What about micros? What about like 2-inch, 3-inch quads? Yes, I'm working on that too. The problem is I don't know a lot about micros, so I'm having to call in the help of a couple other people who are smarter than me, and I'm working on it. Hopefully it'll get done soon, and I'll definitely let you know when it comes out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow, back to your normally scheduled educational entertainment products, and thanks for watching. Happy flying.